Hey everybody, welcome back. Jordan here. Today we're going to be working on changing all of these shelves right here. These are the large pack shelves from IKEA, which host some of the largest Lego sets here in the Lego room. Recently we revised all of my part bins right behind my desk here way better. It looks absolutely amazing. Don't mind all the balloons on the ground. That has to do with my birthday live stream, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But because we moved all those part bins, we had to find a new home for the Star Destroyer, so I temporarily put it right here, and you can see the nose of the Star Destroyer poking out right there. So today I'm going to be revising the layout of all of the sets on these shelves here, finding a new home for the Star Destroyer, and reconfiguring a lot of the different sets on these shelves. So first thing I got to do is actually move the Hogwarts Castle, also the Tower of Orthanc, along with Treebeard and all the other related minifigures on this shelf here, making space for the Star Destroyer, as if it's on that shelf, the nose of it will sort of just poke out right there. I've cleared the shelf for the Star Destroyer. That'll be its new home. Now it's time for the risky business. Moving it and using this stool. Oh. The Star Destroyer looks great there. The Millennium Falcon looks great here. I don't think I want to raise the Millennium Falcon up higher, because in order to really enjoy the details of the Millennium Falcon, you sort of have to look down at it from this position right here. We have this large open space here. I think I'm going to put the trays of minifigures, all Star Wars related minifigures, on shelves just above the Millennium Falcon, and there'll be one, maybe even two shelves full of Star Wars minifigures right there. I think that would look pretty cool. But then thinking about it even further, I don't know what I'm going to do with the Tower of Orthanc and also the Hogwarts Castle, because they're actually quite tall and they won't fit in this position right here. There's also all this space on the bottom right here, because obviously these Ninjago pods could move, and those trays of minifigures will move as well. So I've got a lot of thinking and planning that I've got to do here to properly lay out this area right here. Now this combination might seem a little bit weird, but for some reason I think it works pretty decently. We have the UCS Imperial Shuttle here. Now the thing with the UCS Imperial Shuttle is it's very tall, so it requires a large shelf space, and there's a lot of dead space created by the triangular wing formation. And it sort of gets lost on the pack shelves because the pack shelves are white. The solution behind that is obviously you can create a scene using whatever light bluish gray bricks, and you can create a hangar, and you can put stormtroopers underneath it, and you can create a scene from the movie. And I just don't have the time nor pieces to do that right now. But I actually put the Tower of Orthanc behind it. And the reason I did that is because it's essentially the same height. So in order for it to go onto a shelf, it has to be the same height as the Imperial Shuttle. And what I think is cool is it actually adds a background and a color contrast, and actually makes the Imperial Shuttle pop. Now I've put the TIE Fighter here as well, and I put it on some buckets so that it raises it up almost like an acrylic riser, so that it's closer to the top of the shelf, and then that gives us this space here. I was messing around. I put the TIE Fighter Advance there, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Didn't really work. It popped out a little bit too much. It covered this up because it's actually a really tall Technic stand on that one. You'll see that the model actually comes off the ground quite a bit. I could technically take it off the Technic stand or shorten it and put it here, but then once again it pops off the shelf a little bit too much. So I think I have a solution. What I could do is take my 100 Stormtrooper minifigures from down here and put them on white baseplate trays and put them along here, and have 100 Stormtroopers underneath the TIE Fighter and the Imperial Shuttle. And then we have this large space right here. And what I can do is put another shelf here, and then put the remainder of our Star Wars minifigures above the Millennium Falcon and below the Star Destroyer. That's going to leave us enough room to actually look down and see the Millennium Falcon. It's also going to leave us enough room to see into the minifig trays, so we can identify all the minifigures within the tray. Or I could bring up the Mos Eisley Cantina at that same shelf height there and have the Mos Eisley Cantina spread out there so you can see it. But really, it's not too bad right there. Now we still have some open space here where the Mickey Mouse is there, and also the Stormtrooper brick sketch. That's actually a perfect shelf height for the Hogwarts Castle. So that will most likely be the new home for the Hogwarts Castle. And then temporarily, I'll probably put the alternate build, which is the Boone Castle right here. That's the alternate build for the Colosseum beside the Hogwarts Castle. They actually go together quite nicely and it'll look pretty good there. And then we still have this whole space down here that's open on the bottom. And maybe eventually we could put the Colosseum down there, although I'm sure this will change. But I think I like that outcome or that idea because we're going to be able to see all our minifigures. You're going to have 100 Stormtroopers underneath, maybe not 100, but a huge squadron of Stormtroopers underneath the Imperial Shuttle. And then you'll be able to see all of our minifigures. And it'll nicely break it up. So you got big set minifigures, big set Mos Eisley Cantina, which actually looks good spread out just like that at that height. You can see all the details. Whereas if you had the minifigures there, they'd get lost in the depths of the shelf. But if we have the minifigures here, you'll be able to see them all the way to the back of the shelf. So I think having the minifigures higher up just makes a little bit more sense. I'm going to execute those changes there, and I'm sure it'll change a little bit more throughout this video, but I'm really excited about getting this new shelf set up. Actually, one other thing that I forgot to address is that crane. The reason I had the crane with the Imperial Shuttle when we started was because, once again, shelf height. That's the only shelf that's tall enough to accommodate the crane. And the crane should technically probably go somewhere in the city, but I don't currently have a construction site. However, I will say that I have some huge changes coming up here for the Lego City as well. But let's just worry about the pack shelves for now. It is my birthday today. This is what I'm doing on my birthday. I love Lego so much. This is so much fun. I've decided to run with the idea of putting our troopers right here. I've got 90 of these consistent troopers. I gave 10 to my buddy Kevin because he helped me out one day. Oh, that was hard. I've got some inconsistent Disney Stormtroopers back here, and then also some inconsistent other ones back here as well. Not sure where those ones came from. And then I've got some guys up here holding some delicious treats. But seeing these at this level, I love it. I'm definitely going to put the shelf in here. I actually went to IKEA today and bought an additional shelf, actually 2 of them. And we're definitely going to put that one there and put the rest of our Star Wars minifigures there. Oh yeah, and I put Hogwarts here along with the alt build for the Colosseum. Woof, they look so good together. They're like perfectly matched up. I'm going to do a full review on that soon. I'm actually extremely satisfied with the end result here. These shelves are looking awesome. So up top we got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter Advanced UCS and also Rad 5. Eventually we'll fill more larger sets along the top there as well. As you can see, we've got some of our planes and helicopters which aren't in use, and we transition into some of our holiday theme sets. Over here we have the Star Destroyer. There is some void space in the bottom of it that we could fill up with some smaller starships of some sort. Similar to what I did here with all of my TIE fighters. We have the brand new 2021 TIE Fighter, and then some of the others in behind there. And that's behind a selection of our minifigures. I just put them evenly spaced on 32 by 32 white base plates. Tried to group them as best I could by theme. And of course that's right above the UCS Millennium Falcon. We do have lots of Star Wars minifigures. A large majority of them are here. Actually, not really a large majority of them. The most of them are actually with their sets. I generally try to group them with their sets as it just makes more sense. Or they'll be in their actual vehicles or placed within their sets as well. The UCS Millennium Falcon minifigs here. And we come down to Mos Eisley. Oops. I forgot to put the Tantive back on. Blockade Runner, my bad. Mos Eisley there. I've left this box right here on the very bottom. So we have to build the Colosseum and work it onto the shelf somehow. I bump this plate off every single time I walk by here. it's an issue. But eventually we'll build the Coliseum. It'll probably go down there. I don't know yet. Maybe these shelves will change again once that's built. I have no clue, but for sure all those Ninjago pods will move. One thing I'm a little bit disappointed with is the position of the helicarrier. Anything on the bottom here just sort of gets buried and you can't really see it. You can't put the helicarrier up high. You really have to be looking down at it, similar to the Millennium Falcon. Not a huge fan of it here, but I don't know what I would replace it with on the upper shelves. So that's where it resides for now. No change there. And we have the Hogwarts Castle. Some miscellaneous Hogwarts stuff, including the Book of Monsters. And then the Boone alternate build for the Coliseum. All of our Stormtroopers here. And then I put the art right there just to cover this bin. I don't know, do you guys like it elevated? I sort of like it elevated because it fills that void space that would be positioned at the top of the shelf. Because if it was down here, there'd be a lot of void space. Then we have my favorite set, the UCS Imperial Shuttle. I put it at a larger angle there, just so when you're looking from over here, you can see it better. It sort of pops off the shelf, especially with the Tower of Orthanc behind it, which is black. And it just sort of pops. And it only makes sense to have those two together because of the height. None of the other shelves here are set at the right height to accommodate the Orthanc Tower. So it's sort of where it has to go for now. And like I was saying earlier, I really don't mind it. No change over here. We got the Death Star 2, the Death Star playset, Jurassic Park, T-Rex, and then the gate below it. I guess that doesn't really make sense. I guess they should be beside each other, or he should be bursting through the gate, one of the two. Piano, Ewok Village, Sopwith Camel, cargo plane. Tell you the truth, I'm thinking of selling the cargo plane and the Sopwith Camel, and maybe even my Ewok Village. I might be parting with those, but I'm definitely not going to do that until we run out of space here in the Lego room. We have lots of space to fill. You can see there's some open, oh, there's a tie that I forgot to move. Lots of space on the bottom shelves all the way along. A lot of it's just like a hoard down there. And you'll see actually there's a lot of my collectible minifigures. Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed to show you this right here. And there's a bunch more collectible minifigures and also city population minifigures in bins on the ground over there. And eventually those will be making their way onto the Bricksie wall or into the city. I only want to keep my Star Wars minifigures right here, as they'll be separated from the rest, and all the rest will be going on the Bricksie wall or in the city. And if you guys want to see this, it's sort of a hodgepodge, but 1, 2, 3, 4 containers, and then a bunch of bags as well. What I got to do is go through and sort all of those by theme. So like city, Ninjago, amusement park, beach, Bricksie wall. And then once I have them sorted, I can start to populate the city more efficiently. But that is coming out in a future video or future live stream. Also some big changes happening to the Lego City. Today all I had time to do was revise the shelving here, the large shelving in the Lego room. And once again, I did this on my birthday. Had a heck of a time doing it. It was a lot of fun. Had a blast. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.